What's up, everybody? I hope everyone's having a great day, and thank you for tuning into a new episode of the Sports Raid. Before we get started, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about one of our sponsors, BLK Water. BLK Water is a fulvic mineral water with a great amount of electrolytes, antioxidants, a high pH plus level, and is all natural. It comes in amazing different flavors and has amazing health benefits. So if you want black water and amazing flavors, just go over to blkwater.com and use code BLKRAID for 20% off any purchase. Thank you guys and enjoy the episode.
High snap again. End zone and picked off! Intercepted by Rasul Douglas.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
Welcome back and happy Halloween, everyone. Welcome back to episode 10 of the Sports Raid. I am your host, the ref of the Green Bay Packers game last night. I'm just kidding partially, but that was definitely pass interference or holding on Rasul Douglas. But, do what you can do. Got that one wrong. But welcome back. Happy Halloween. I hope everyone's having a great day. I love Halloween. I love all holidays, to be honest. I'm taking these off. I can barely see, but I'm a blind ref, like most of these refs we have these days. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a great day, and I hope everyone has big plans for Halloween weekend. I'm going up to visit some of my friends, so I'm pretty excited. We are on the Zoom camera again. I am still having some major camera problems, so I am going to get that fixed for us so we can get back to the high quality camera footage we have. But I'm going to put my stick down. How's everybody doing today? Wow, we had a NFL season. I don't know what to think, man. I can't catch a break. Eagles suck. Fantasy teams suck a lot. Let's look at what we got rolling in the NFL. We will start over there with the NFL. As last night we had a scary game between the Green Bay Packers and the Arizona Cardinals. That was just an all-around great game, but the Packers got the best of them. I mean, more power to the Pack. I just feel like I don't know how they're so good, to be honest. Like, they weren't supposed to be this good, but they are this good. So good for the Packers. And unfortunately, the Cardinals took their first loss last night, 24-21. It sucks because I picked them, but what can you do? But yeah, Rasul Douglas made a great play, as we saw in the beginning, even though that I felt like that was a little bit of pass interference. But listen, I'm not gonna argue it. I'm not going to sit here and blame the refs, but I may have been officiating that game last night. I may have been on my way back from Arizona when I realized I had to record this podcast, but either way. Yeah, Cardinals take their first loss of the year, move to 7-1, which makes this NFC race even crazier, as we have no clue who's going to finish, whereas we have 5 one-loss teams in that conference who are going to be battling for those spots. But there are more games to come this weekend. And let's take a look at what we got coming. We start off next with at 1:00. The Carolina Panthers travel to the Atlanta Falcons. And I am picking the Atlanta Falcons to win because I think the Falcons are winning games, are on the up, while the Panthers are on the down. And that Falcons offense looks good, and that Panthers team just looks bad. They just got beat up bad by the Giants. So I'm taking the Falcons to win that game. Next up, we have the Miami Dolphins as they travel to the Buffalo Bills. I think only a blind ref could help the Dolphins win that game. This things are flag on the play. I am taking the Bills to win that one pretty big. Talking about a score like 41-10, something along those lines. These things are really uncomfortable. Next up, we have the San Francisco 49ers traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears. And I really would consider taking the Bears in this game, but they just got beat by 35. 35 freaking points. No, I'm not taking the Bears. I'm taking the Niners. I'm taking Trey Lance to win. Next up, the Pittsburgh Steelers travel to take on the Cleveland Browns. Give me the Cleveland Browns. I think this is going to be – the Browns are starting to get healthy again. They got a big game. They know they got to win this game, and they take care of business. They defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Next up, we have the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Detroit. If the Eagles lose this game, I would not be surprised. I won't be surprised. I won't be at all, not in the slightest. but I'm taking the Eagles to win because they're just a better team than the Lions. 27-21 Eagles. Next up, the Tennessee Titans travel to take on the Indianapolis Colts. I am going to take the Titans to win this one in a very close game. Listen, this is going to be a very important game down the stretch, and it sucks that this is coming week 8 for the Colts because they already played them once, they lost, but you got to play the only team you're going to fight for your division twice in the first 8 weeks. That's tough, but I think the Titans win this one. I think the Titans are red hot. I think the Titans are playing as good as football as anybody in the entire NFL, taking down the Bills and destroying the Kansas City Chiefs. Give me the Titans. Next 1 o'clock game, we have the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to the New York Jets. I'd be mortified if the Jets win this game. Mortified. Okay? Mortified. No chance. No chance. Next up, the Los Angeles Rams travel to the Houston Texans. Give me the Los Angeles Rams like I said, I still think the Rams are the most complete team in the NFL. On both sides of the ball, I'm taking the Rams. And all 3 sides of the ball, honestly, you count the special teams too. I'm taking the Rams over the Texans. And I'm taking the Rams over anybody in the league overall, but they play the Texans this week. I think it's pretty ugly. Next up, we start the 4 o'clock games as the New England Patriots travel to the Los Angeles Chargers. Patriots beat down on the Chargers. That front 7, they're not very good at running Brandon Staley's defense. So I'm taking the Chargers, though, because I think the Chargers overall are more talented than the Patriots. I do think this game will be very close, and I would not be shocked if the Patriots end up winning this game. Next up, the Jacksonville Jaguars travel to Seattle to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks start to get on the right track again. I think Geno Smith gets the job done this week, and I think the Seahawks win the game. Simple as that. Next up, we have the Washington football team taking on the Denver Broncos. Give me the Denver Broncos. Actually, not the Denver Broncos, the Washington football team. I picked the football team because I picked the Broncos for 5 or 4 weeks in a row now, and they've lost every single dang one of them. Give me the Washington football team. Taylor Heineke is getting the job done. The Broncos, you're on my ban list. I'm not picking you again. Next up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers travel to New Orleans to take on the New Orleans Saints. Ooh, baby, this is going to be a good one. I am taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this one. I think this game's going to be very close. As we saw last year, the Saints had the better of the Patriots, beating them twice, blowing them out once. But the Patriots got – not the Patriots. The Bucks. But the Bucks got them in the playoffs. And I think the Bucks get them this time. I think it's going to be a close game, though. But I'm taking the Bucks. Next up, the Dallas Cowboys take on the Minnesota Vikings. I'm checking who I picked because I have no clue, because I know this game could go either way. I believe I picked the Cowboys, but I did pick the Cowboys. I think the Dallas Cowboys win this game, and I think they're going to win it in a tight one. I do think there's a lot of close games this week, and I think this is going to be one of them. I think right now with the mixture of Trayvon Diggs and how smooth the offense is running, I am going to take the Dallas Cowboys because the Minnesota Vikings have been hot, cold. I think they go cold this week, and I don't think they pull it out. And to close out the week, Monday Night Football, the New York Football Giants taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, if the Chiefs lose this game, they're done. They're done. Like, this is it. They got to win this game. They got to pull this out. And on the bye this week, we have the Las Vegas Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson last week with the Ravens, man, we thought he was a lock for an MVP candidate, but last week he did not look good against the Bengals. But speaking of MVP candidates, you know what time it is. Time for my top 5 MVP candidates. Coming in, let me give you 2 honorable mentions before we get rolling here, and they are, first off, Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys. He was in my top 5 last week, but he was bumped out from a guy who is threatening him for his award as well. But yeah, Dak's been amazing this year. Like I said, the only issue with Dak is the fact that the most valuable player to the Cowboys right now has been Trayvon Diggs. And let's be honest, it's hard for a non-quarterback to win that award. But my other honorable mention is a non-quarterback, and that is Derrick Henry. I mean, he has basically doubled the second place person in rushing. Let's look at the number. Let's look at it. Let's go right to it. NFL rushing leaders. I guarantee you, Derrick Henry is at 870 yards and Jonathan Taylor's at 580. So he hasn't doubled it yet, but he's getting close. Derrick Henry's on pace to run for the most yards ever by a running back in a single season. That is MVP candidacy right there. That is the definition of it. And he's throwing touchdowns too. Give me Derrick Henry as my other honorable mention. And now for the top 5. At number 5, a man on who I've been saying all year is on the most complete team in football, and that is Matthew Stafford. It is still hard for me to not put Stafford in that top tier of the running back or of MVP candidates, but I mean he is still number 4 in passing, or number 3 in passing really, because Kylo Murray is going to get passed this week by Brady. So yeah, number 3 in passing. He is top 5 in touchdown. He's number 2 in touchdowns. That is an MVP candidate right there. The only thing that hurts him is his team is so good around him. And at number 4, we have Joe Burrow. Me and Mike talked about it a lot. I mean, he is playing phenomenal. He's a part of the best duo in football. He's top 5 in touchdowns. He's top 7 in passing yards. I mean, he doesn't throw a ton of picks. Give me Joe Burrow. He made one mistake in that entire game against a very, very good defense in the Baltimore Ravens, and he made them look bad. He put up 41 points on their head. Give me Joe Burrow. Give me Joe Burrow at number 4. At number 3, he bumped down from 2. He's still in there just because of I can't let one game knock him too far. But if Joe Burrow plays well this week, he's getting past, and that is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson still, I mean, he has over 20 touchdowns, or he has 15 touchdowns this year, including passing and rushing. He doesn't throw a lot of picks. He's at just about 2,000 yards. It's just the stuff he's done this year, like that comeback against the Colts. It's hard for me not to give him credit for what he's done. So I'm going to keep Lamar Jackson in my top 5 for now. But if he gets bumped out shortly, don't be shocked. At number 2, it's been the same guy who's been the same top 2 that has been all year. Because I can't factor Kylo Murray's game last night into my decision. Number 2, Tom Brady, league leader in passing, league leader in touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. Tom Brady might end up passing Kyler Murray if he plays decent this week, because that's how Kyler Murray didn't play great last night, and Tom Brady looked amazing. But at number 1 is Kyler Murray. Up until last night, like I said, I can't count it. So Kyler Murray has the best completion percentage in the NFL. He's thrown for 17 touchdowns. He has over 2,000 yards. He is an animal. And he can do it with his legs too. And he's just he is the leader of an undefeated team up until this week. Because obviously they're not undefeated anymore. But like I said, I can't. That's not how this works. But Kyler Murray, you are my number 1 MVP candidate. That's crazy. I've been following Kyler Murray since he was at Oklahoma. Speaking of Oklahoma, how you like that transition? I did. We got NCAA football. As we already know how I felt about the Penn State game. But the show must go on. And, well, welcome back to the Big 8, where I picked the 8 biggest games of the college football weekend. And we start off in Jordan-Hare Stadium as number 10 Ole Miss takes on number 18 Auburn. And I am taking Ole Miss. Matt Corral, we all know how I feel about him. We all know I think he's the best quarterback in college football, and I think he shows it again this weekend. He is working to get that number 1 overall pick spot, and he's going to ball out against a very good Auburn defense. Number 2, this might be the biggest game of them all. Number 6, Michigan Wolverines travel to take on the number 8 Michigan State Spartans. We all know how I feel about Michigan and Michigan State. I don't like either of them. But we know I'm high on Michigan State's future, and I'm high on Michigan State right now. And that's why I'm going to continue, and I'm going to take the Michigan State Spartans to take down the Michigan Wolverines in East Lansing. Give me the Spartans. And you know what? Give me the Spartans by a score and a half. Give me this, or by 2 scores, but by 10. I'm taking the Spartans by 10. That's how confident I am. Next up, we have a game I have to talk about because it's 2 ranked teams. Number 20, Penn State, taking on number 5, Ohio State in the Horseshoe. Flag on the play. I'm actually officiating that game, so Penn State's gonna win it. As much as I want to say Penn State, and I do think they can do it. I know they can pull it off. If Penn State wins, I'm not gonna come on here and act like I didn't expect it, because I could very well see Penn State winning this game. But I have to pick smart, and I am gonna take Ohio State by 3 points. I don't want to do it. I don't want to, but I have to. Now, I will say this. Like I said, mark my word, if Penn State wins, I'm not shocked. I will not be shocked, because Penn State, when they have looked good, when they've played their best, they have been just as good as anybody other than Georgia in this entire country. That's all I got to say. Next up, undefeated number 13, Wake Forest hosts unranked Duke. I'm taking Wake Forest. I've been saying Wake Forest is a sneaky team for that playoff. Don't count Wake Forest out. Next up, number 5, we got unranked. The Texas Tech Red Raiders travel to number 4, Oklahoma Sooners. I am taking the Oklahoma Sooners because I just don't see them losing. They're in a weak conference. I think the only team they can lose to is Oklahoma State, but Oklahoma State just lost to Iowa State. But give me the Sooners for now. Number 6, the 6th game, we got number 16 Baylor hosting unranked Texas, and I'm taking the Longhorns. We know I like the Longhorns. We know I like the way they play. I'm taking them over Baylor. I just don't think Baylor's that good. I think Baylor's still a few years away from being a contender. Next up, we got Miami U traveling to take on number 17 Pitt. I'm taking Pitt to lose. I think the U pulls it out. Listen to me. We all know how I feel about Pitt. We all know I think they're overrated. We all know I think any team in the ACC is completely trashed, because they are. This year, the only team in the ACC that's good is Clemson. The rest of them are garbage. Like, they're completely trash. And I think the ACC gets shown once again why they're trash, as Miami will take care of Pitt. And the last game of the week, number 9, Iowa travels in to take on the unranked Badgers. I'm taking the Hawkeyes. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to say I'm taking the Hawkeyes. I don't say I will lose it again until the Big Ten title, which I think they get boat raced by whoever they play. But the MLB playoffs are here. The MLB World Series is here, as Game 3 is tonight. And I'm going to go through and pick the rest of the games of this series for you guys. Game 3, give me the Atlanta Braves. I like the pitching matchup for the Braves. Ian Anderson, Luis Garcia. The Braves hit pretty good against right-handers. They're at home. They need to take the series lead. I think they get the job done. You also got to realize Luis Garcia hasn't hit. I can't remember the last time Luis Garcia probably hit a baseball. Like, actually hit one in a game. Braves are going to take care of business tonight. Sorry. Next up, we got Game 4. We don't know the pitching matchup, but I'm going to say Game 4, I'm going to take the Stros. Do you have any idea who the pitching matchup is? But I'm taking the Astros. I mean, we probably would have saw Charlie Morton, but, he broke his leg, unfortunately. I'm going to take the Astros to even up the series. I think the Astros are going to, get back in the groove. And I think we're going to be going into the final 3 games as a best-of-3 series, which is going to be good. Game 5, Braves hosting the Astros. The Braves on Halloween night take a 3-2 series lead, heading back to Houston. They just got to win one of the next 2 to go win the World Series. Game 6, give me the Stros, baby. I think we're gonna have a Game 7. I know this series is going 7. Both offenses can hit the ball well. Both offenses have very good pitching, and I think it's gonna be a battle in the trenches. And I think we go to Game 7, where I think I'm sticking with it. The Houston Astros are your World Series champions. End of discussion. Oh, Well, I know this one was a little bit shorter than usual, guys. I'm sorry. I'm having some equipment issues. Like my mic isn't reading the Zoom, so I'm using my computer's mic, camera. Not a lot to talk about right now. Like we're just kind of getting into NBA and NHL. I kind of want to let those, settle before I start bringing those up. But I did my usual thing. I talked a little bit faster today, but yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. I hope everyone has a great Halloween weekend and stays safe. Happy Halloween. Thank you guys for listening to episode 10 of the Sports Raid. I will see you guys. Thank you. What's up, guys? I hope you all are enjoying this episode of the Sports Raid. I just want to take a little break to talk to you guys about one of our sponsors, OtterBot. If you want to automate your trading, OtterBot has the customer solution for all traders. It is a robot that does the trading for you. They have different levels and different types of OtterBot, and they just released their new beta, the OtterBot ES. If you want to go give it a try, go to otterbot.com and use the code RAID for 10% off any purchase. Thank you guys, and back to the episode.